Wednesday.
Tis.
It is. And the panic is starting to set in.
I don't know.
I'm calmish. We're on the top of it, but lads, it's going to be bleeding massive. Only bleeding massive.
I know we've said that before.
I may be a bit of a drama queen, but this is going to be bleeding massive.
He's not lying this time.
This is probably about 1,800 lots.
Give or take.
And when I say lots, don't forget there's a lot of sets. So up around the top of the shelves, you'll see the sets. So there's sets of everything and everything in between. And it is just bleeding.
Like there's one
massive.
set and it's a set of
24 bottles. Yeah. Sets of 5, sets of Games of Thrones. It is just insane.
Massive.
This room is wedged. We are not going to have enough space. It is wedged. This is what's left.
Here, yeah.
We're on to this actually now, and that's what's left on the bottom there, and we still have all the bottles coming down from above.
Fun times.
It is crazy. And thank you.
Yeah.
Because without that, we're standing here twiddling our thumbs. But anyhow, so I've been busy as well. I've made 2 new categories. I've made a Method and Madness category. Method and Madness has got quite big in its own right, and it was buried in with the Middletons. So we've taken them out. They now have their own categories, and we've also made a wine category because we've been actually getting an awful lot of wine in as well. So we now have a wine category. So if you go to other spirits, you'll see wine. I was going to make it as a headline on its own, and then I thought, no, we've enough. I'm trying to keep it as clean on the left hand side or on the menu so that it's easier for you to find stuff. So if you're on mobile, there's a little gold button down in the bottom left corner. Press that and it'll give you the menus, and you can then filter the categories, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to find the bottles that you want. So on that, when I say we've got wines, champagnes, cognacs, armagnacs, all of that sort of stuff.
The whole kit and
But some of these bottles are phenomenal. I like to drink wine. You really like to drink wine lately.
No, I'm starting, yes.
You lately, Katie's a little bit lush with her wine.
I'm not lush.
Yes, you are. You were drinking bottles of wine at £100 odd a pop the other night.
It was lovely.
Yeah. Anyhow, but in this auction, we don't know much about wine, and we generally do have to lean on others for some of our knowledge in this. We can do a bit of research. We're not saying that the wine, if the wine bottles are on our auction, we're not saying that they were stored correctly, because we just don't know. And that's the whole caveat with wine is, a bottle of whiskey is relatively alright. It can be held in any circumstances. Wine is a different animal, has to be held at the right temperature, right incline, everything about it. We don't know whether these are just bottles that are usually in a house clearance or somebody had for some time and they give in to us. Saying that, you could be lucky, because some of these bottles are big old names. So you've got a Grand Vin de Chateau Latour. That's one of the biggest. That's a 1960 Chateau Latour. For us doing the homework on that, those bottles goes for multiples of hundreds of euros. Some of the Latours can be in the thousands, but that one there, hundreds when they've come up for market. Pauillac, just in the Medoc region of France. Not far from
where we lived,
that's right. Pauillac, another one there, Chateau Batillet, Grand Cru Classé, that's a 1978. And then we have this one. This is a Chateau du Hart Million Rothschild. Rothschild, obviously everybody knows they rule the world. There are overlords and masters, if you believe all that sort of stuff. But they own several chateaus in France, and that is one of them. That's another 1978 from Pauillac as well. They have some absolutely stonking wines. The thing about wine is that, as I say, when we sort of run out of knowledge, so there's sets of 5s and sets of 6s in our auction. But even the wine brands are getting in on the marketing and the merchandising. So there's ones from Wolf Blass in Australia. That is the House of Dragons. So again, anybody who knows Game of Thrones, House of Dragons was the prequel, and that's in this one, and it's Fire and Blood. There's 3 different labels, I believe.
There is.
They're all 3 different styles of labels, but they're in this month's auction as well. So they're obviously either going to become a collector's piece or just something. Wine, I suppose, the reason why I'm highlighting them now as well is your Christmas dinner's coming up. Wouldn't it be nice to have something spectacular as a wine, or we do have ports or we do have cognacs in this month's auction as well. But also, we've had this before and it hasn't hit its reserve, and I'm a bit surprised by it. It's a 1934 Sauternes wine from Chateau in France. The weird thing about this one is that coat of arms, that our emblem there, is actually the stamp from Trinity College in Dublin. So we were trying to do a bit of homework. Now, we did come up against a bit of a brick wall because we seemed to just run out of... But Trinity College would have had their own sort of catering department, in-house catering department for the lectures and the provost and all that sort of stuff. And is this wine one of the ones that would have been in their cellar, per se, when they were entertaining? I mean, the 1934 Sauternes is a really sought after. And it seems, again, and we haven't cleaned it, we haven't done it, and there's a few handling of it, but it seems to be correct. I mean, the bottle is right. You can see where the label was. There is some of the label missile. There's good clarity on the liquid. Everything seemed to be right about it. So we sort of are surprised that somebody out there hasn't taken a gamble on it. I mean, somebody who's more of a wine snob than Katie.
I'm not a snob.
No, you're not a snob. You've just got expensive bleeding taste.
I'm a learner.
So start with the cheap stuff. Bottle of Blue Nun for you. Do you the world of good. Armagnac and cognacs. Again, we have loads of these in every month. That's a 1954 Armagnac. Only had a conversation with a gentleman this morning on the phone, submitting it for next month. 1927 Armagnac as well. So these are coming out of the woodwork again. People are becoming more and more aware of Irish whiskey auctions, and that we do more than Irish whiskey auctions. And the Armagnacs are coming out of the woodwork again. I've recently found a bit of a soft spot for Armagnac. And Armagnac finished whiskies are savage.
They are.
Absolutely savage. Some of them are just off the scale. Beside that, Ellen, you were processing this one. This is a Louis XIII from Remy Martin. So they do an annual release every year of these, and they've changed the style of it over the year in the presentation. I have a couple of them myself, with the sliding doors and all that sort of stuff. But these decanters themselves are Baccarat crystal, and the crystal in themselves is worth money. I mean, I've seen the empty bottles go for considerable sums. We do have, somebody did submit an empty bottle to us, but we don't do empty bottles at all, just because I don't want them out in the wild at all. But these are gorgeous. I mean, the detail in these decanters is stunning. I mean, the stopper comes with it separately. It's a gorgeous, and it's a weighted glass stopper for when you do open the bottle as well. But I mean, they're a gorgeous, gorgeous presentation. All the paperwork and everything is intact with that. That is a gorgeous piece. So anybody who's into their cognacs or wanted to treat somebody for something truly special for Christmas or something like that, that's the bottle to be getting. That is definitely the bottle to be getting.
We were in Hennessy.
We were in
summer, and
that's Remy Martin.
I know, but I'm just saying Hennessy do some really nice.
Oh, the one with the keys on the side, the Richard. Yeah.
Some like.
Yeah, I didn't buy one.
No, you didn't. You better not have.
No, I didn't. And just beside that, or underneath that, look, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without a bottle of champers. Hey! 1993, Dom Perignon. Don't you know Dom Perignon, darling? That's a bottle of 1993 Dom Perignon. It's supposed to be one of the finest champagnes there is there, the Moet and Chandon.
Never tasted it.
Never tasted it. Moet? You did.
No,
you got
one of them.
The Dom Perignons.
The Moet, yeah, that was mental.
Yeah. Will we tell them the story?
But it's not, just, I had one glass, went straight to my head, I couldn't get over it.
Yes.
Short story.
It wasn't that short a story. Oh, I've never tasted that Moet. What's that like?
I wasn't.
You were trolley. There was witnesses and everything.
I was just
you went to get off the stool and your legs collapsed.
It was the bubbles.
It was the bubbles. they hadn't put bubbles in it, you're alright.
Yeah, for dead on.
Beside that, Cristal, baby. Woohoo! When you're in your clubs back in the 90s and you were rapping and everything else, you wanted the Cristal. Huh?
You did.
That's a 2014 bottle of Cristal from Louis Roederer. One of the most sought after champagnes. I mean, these bottles go for hundreds of euros just at retail. The vintages go some spectacular money. So you can sit in that. Now, I don't think anybody who done the marketing and the packaging of that visited Ireland.
It looks like an expensive bottle of Lucozade.
I don't think anybody from Louis Roederer were ever in Ireland in the 1980s.
And early 90s.
Early 90s. Because that's how you got the bottles of Lucozade. And for those of you who don't know what Lucozade is, it fixes everything. You've got the flu, Lucozade. You've got broken legs, Lucozade.
You've got a hangover.
Hangover, Lucozade. It's just... Barry Chandler bought cases of the stuff when we were on the whiskey bus. It fixes everything.
And if you were in a hospital in the late 80s, early 90s,
somebody came in
there
with that.
was one on every locker.
With the plastic bag. It was just like, now, if you're a bit lush, I wondered, did somebody bring you in a bottle of Cristal and dump it beside it, you know? Maybe you mixed it with the Lucozade and goosed it.
You'd be in a heap.
But it'd be a good hip. You'd be healthy afterwards. You wouldn't have a hangover because the Lucozade preempt it with the Lucozade. Get the Lucozade in early. Look, lads, they're all in the wine category now that I've created. As I said, the Method of Madness is there. If you're on your mobile device, down in the bottom corner, little gold arrowy thing, press that, and it gives you the menus all on your left hand side. So you can create filters. You can do whatever you want to find the bottles that you want, because you're going to need them this month. Because did I tell you that it's over 1,800 bottles? It is massive. Lots, not bottles. Yeah, bottles. It is massive, lads. So that's it. We're back tomorrow. We maybe have to be out in the hall because there might be any space in here, but we'll see. We'll judge it as it comes. But until then,
bye.
Good luck. Good to see you.